Kindle Unlimited, some common misconceptions. I'm Karen Beery with Right Now Editing, where we turn good manuscripts into great books.
And I'm Peg Thomas, multi-award winning author and editor, and we are two editors for 5 minutes.
So, like many things in life, Kindle Unlimited has is has some controversy in the reading and writing world, and some of that is based on misunderstandings or misinformation. I prefer misunderstandings. So Peg and I want to talk a little bit about some of the things that we've heard that might not necessarily be true, but also an understanding of what Kindle Unlimited truly is. So from the very beginning, let's make it clear. You do not own books that because you don't purchase books from Kindle Unlimited. It is a subscription service. You are essentially paying to have access to the world's largest digital library.
Correct.
That's what it is. If you have a Kindle Unlimited subscription, you have never owned copies of those books. At any time, Amazon could have come back and taken it right off of your Kindle. That really isn't changing. That's the way it's always been. Um, I understand that there were some ways that some people may have been able to download it, but you need to go into an understanding as a reader that it's a giant library.
And
But
that's
as
part of the reason why you pay just a monthly fee for what is it, 20 books now you can read? Something like that. I mean, if you think about it, you could never purchase 20 books for the fee
Mhm.
that you're paying for that. You are borrowing the books, you are not buying them. And the author gets less than they did if you bought the book. Because it's a borrow situation. And we know that going in. But what makes money for us authors is um, the fact that so many people use it. And we get paid per page read, which sounds a little weird. But what it equals out to is the author makes a lot more money on Kindle Unlimited than they do on a 99-cent book or a $1.99 book. So we like people using Kindle Unlimited. It really does at the end of the month add up, and it adds up pretty significantly. So the rumor that I've heard floating around, there's a couple of them. One of them, which you alluded to, was that they somehow now take the books away from you. No, they've always done that. It's the way it's always been set up. That you can't download it to your laptop or whatever anymore. Um, okay, if you had figured out a way to do that, okay, but that was never the intention. So the other rumor that I've heard is that people are boycotting it because they don't feel it's fair to authors because we get paid less. But it is fair to us because it's volume over amount. The volume of readers is so much higher that even though we get paid less, we make more. So it's not hurting us authors at all. We like we love Kindle Unlimited. It's a great source for us.
And a lot of that depends on, we had talked about this earlier. A lot of that depends on what your strategy is for publishing.
Yeah.
I've seen some authors who just hardcore want nothing to do with Amazon. They're making it work. They have strategies in place, so they don't use Kindle Unlimited, but
Right.
they have strategies in place um, for taking that into account. There are some authors who really don't care. They want to publish a few books. They don't care how many people read them. They're not in it to make a lot of money. They're happy to make any money knowing that what they've written is bringing somebody else joy. So to make a universally blanket statement that Kindle Unlimited is not working for any authors is unfair. For Peg, it is very much part of her marketing strategy. It's part of her publishing strategy. For me, not so much. It's not anything that again, it's just because we have different preferences. It's how we're going to market our books, how we want to get them into hands of readers, things like that. But for someone who is using Kindle Unlimited, Peg will tell you she loves it. She's not cheated.
Yeah,
She's doing
that's
well.
it.
Any other Kindle Unlimited things you've been hearing that we want to touch base on? We've got a couple minutes, or not a couple minutes. We have a few seconds left.
2 seconds left. No, that was just the things that I've heard kind of scuttlebutt going around the internet, and I can understand someone who hears, well, that's not being fair to authors, thinking, well, I'm not going to do it then. And there may be some authors who feel like it's not being fair to them, but there's a whole lot of us who don't feel that way. So I think it's important that we just addressed it so that other authors, can one know that the scuttlebutt's going around out there, and to decide what choices they want to make as far as their marketing program and their business goals.
And that takes us actually to the 5 second mark. So we will go ahead and wrap it up for this week and stop back next week for more. We haven't picked a topic yet. We'll figure it out when we get there.
We'll wing
Uh,
it.
until then, I'm Karen Berry.
And I'm Peg Thomas. But we'll see you next time.